This is the Iron Trader, and this is Midday Trading. So today we're going to take a look here at natural gas, and we're going to take a look at crude oil. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have natural gas, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, Friday, what we had a green candle. It went below the 8 SMA here, went above the key 21 SMA, and then it settled right in between. Okay, so we had a nice, good action going on between. Now today, you can see it came all the way down to this 8 SMA. Today's low here so far was 1.706, and we have right now sitting at 1.72. We have a nice higher low, and then it popped up here against above this 21 SMA, which is very nice. Now, this here was looked like the turnaround day here was last Friday. So if we look here on the weekly chart, you can see last week here, okay, we had that nice green candle, and I pointed out that it closed above that key 8 simple moving average. That's what you wanted to see. So when on this week here, went right into it, and then it closed above last week, and you notice that this 8 simple moving average now is flattening out, and now our price here is above. So that is going to be the key that we need to do for on Friday, is close above this key 1.718. That is going to be very, very key, and then we can have a nice run up. Now, what do we have here? Well, today's high so far is 1.852. So obviously we're above this 1.83, and let's see, we went above the 1.84, and then we're looking here at 1.87. Hasn't made it there yet, and the next level is going to be 1.88. Hasn't made there yet, but this is the big boy right here at that 1.897. Okay, so this is where it's going to be extremely tough. It's going to be a wall. So just remember, if you're holding this here, sell some into that 50 SMA here, because it'll be definitely, that's where she's going to stop very, very close. Okay, very, very hard. Now, again, if it can blast up above that, then we have this what do we have here? 1.89. Then we can just follow the candles up here. 1.95. You have 1.98. But realistically, this is where you're going, is that 2.0 level. Now, again, we have a good upswing going here. So if we can get above all of this and above that, this is the candle that we're going to be aiming for right here, is this 2.168. There's your gap. Okay, that's the highest of the bunch. And then we look to the bottom of that candle at 2.42. So right now here, just looking very, very bullish here. We have a higher high and a higher low, looking very, very good. RSI, nice. Okay, MACD, green above your red, showing good bullish momentum. Here we have the MACD. The green is still below, but it looks like it wants to curl up. If it can, we can send this to much, much higher. Okay, so right now here you have that 1.852 here. Then we can just kind of track all of these candles here right on up here. So there is that 1.918, but this is what we're looking for, is that 2.0. Okay, so this is looking very good. Now, let's just look at the downside here, just in case this sells off here. So what you want to do now is just, this is all resistance. Now this becomes support. So now we want to look at that 1.83. You want to close above. Okay, and then we have 1.789, and then we had Friday's high at 1.786. But the key level here is a close above this 1.762. Very, very crucial level, okay, that you need to close above here. Even though you have a green candle right now, there's a lot of day left. Okay, now again, if that's lost, you have your 8 simple moving at 1.72, and then we have your 8 on your weekly here. And basically 1.708, say you call it 1.72. That is going to be very, very key. So realistically, there's two nice levels here that you want to watch. On the downside, that 21 SMA, and on the upside, this 50 SMA. Okay, let's take a look here on the hourly and the 4-hour chart. Okay, here we have your hourly chart. Here we have your 4-hour chart. Now, what do we have here? Okay, so what we did is just stair-stepped all the way down. You lost that key level at 1.64, came all the way down here to that 1.589. Okay, then what we did is we had this gap up. This was that contract roll, the last contract roll. So it went from the high here, 1.649, and then came all the way to down here, 1.794. So it gapped up. Now, it never filled this gap, which I really never do like that, because eventually that will fail. So it got as low as 1.686, but it never came all the way down here and filled that gap. However, now she just looked like she's rallying up here very, very nice. So what you want to do is it needs to hold at 1.83. Okay, so we can see right here that now we are above. we're above the 1.83. The question is, will you be able to hold it? That's the key. So we had this is almost like an inverse head and shoulders, but it just, it's not really defined. But you had a low here, and then we had like your left shoulder, and then we had your head, and almost like a right shoulder situation, and then she popped up with one nice green bar. The key is going to be is right here is holding this 1.83 here on a closing basis. That's going to be very key, and at 21 simple moving range on the daily chart is going to be right key, which is going to be right underneath that. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Now here on the upside, okay, so you had your high of that 1.852. Okay, so now what we do is we just look right to the left of the chart here. Okay, so we look there. What do we have? 1.82. So obviously we're above that. So now our next level here, we're going to bring red across. Okay, what do we have? You have 1.95. We bring this level across. You have your 1.983, and then we have your 2.0. But what's going to be the killer is going to be that 50-day on that daily chart. That's going to be very, very crucial here. Now, when we look at the hourly chart, obviously, you didn't fill that gap. However, what you do is when it's sold off, you put in a low here. What do we put in there? Okay, so you put a low there of 1.686. Okay, so we never did fill that gap. Okay, so let me bigger up a little bit. You put a low in here, then we rallied up here. Then what you do is when it's sold down, this was your buying opportunity right here, because what it did is it came down and it made a higher low. Very, very nice. So this is very similar to what we have here, just a little bit bigger. See how you made a low, then we made a lower low. It's almost like an inverse head and shoulders pattern going on here. Okay, it's real tight, but again, it's going to be when you have an hourly chart, okay? And now she rallied right up. The key is going to be, can we crack back above that 1.85 and go to that 50-day moving average? That is going to be very, very critical here, okay? So that's what we got to see. Now, on the downside here, you got a lot of good support levels going all the way through here. But this is what you want to watch here first is that 1.83. And then if you can come down to that 21 SMA here. Okay, so that is going to be very, very crucial. So, but right now, this chart looks like it's just reversing here and wants to go up. The question is, can it keep on rising up? That's going to be the key. Can it keep right on going up? That's going to be the key. Okay, so right now here, I scalped. UNG got as low as 14.54 in pre-market. Okay, now I didn't get that low. I waited for the retest, and I'm in at 14.65, and I still got the trade going. I got a stop on there at 15.25. Okay, so I got 5,000 shares. So that's what I'm trading there with UNG. So again, I didn't get that low at that 14.54, but I never like buying that low. I always want the retest. Came down there. I'm in at 14.65. So we're going to see how this is going to shake out here today. So right now, UNG is looking really good. And we got to see if it's going to keep working good all the rest of the day. Okay, let's take a look here at crude. Okay, crude oil looking really, really bullish. Okay, so I've been pointing out these higher lows all the way through. Nice rounded bottom, the whole 9 yards here. Looking really very, very bullish. Okay, so I'm long from way back here. Okay, this was Thursday because we put in a bottoming tail. You held all this nice support, and the key is you closed above this 85, and this candle here closed above that 8 SMA. That was the very, very crucial what it needed to do, okay? And it did, so I just held it. Friday, we had a nice big green candle. We were right to resistance. Now, the top of that resistance there was 83.12, but we put in a higher high, okay, at 83.21. Now, it closed at 83.11, just below that resistance, but you notice it didn't fall off, okay? It didn't have this topping tail candle like we had here, and then you come on down. So that's why I've held my trade. And then this morning here, I came and I added to my trade on the UCO, okay, this morning here, okay? So I added at 32.95 on my UCO trade. And again, I was holding 5,000 shares here over the weekend, and I added another 5,000 to it. So that's where we're sitting right now. Now, we got to see UCO is sitting at 33.62. I got to stop in there. I got a little bit lower at 33.40 because I'm going to see if this green candle could run all the way on up here. So when we look at the weekly here, okay, now I was always pointing out this 100 SMA here, 82.84. Now we can see where we're clearly above it. See where the first time you're not going to go right into it. So you went right into it and pulled back. And then Friday, or not Friday, but last week, even though it was a shortened week, it went in there, but it held that nice big green candle. That's always a sign that says just stick with the trade. Now we're above that 100 SMA here, and you notice that it's held it very, very nicely. Okay, so what we're looking at here for a target is we're looking at the top of this candle here. Okay, so really looks like you're looking at that 85.30. So anywhere around that 85 level is, that's basically what we're looking for, that 85 next. And then we can come up here. You have your 87.83. We have 88.29, and then right here is your 89.85. You bring that price channel across. That exactly is what we're going to look for over time. But right now, what we're looking here shorter term, we're looking for this 85 level. This is 85.30, but it might not get all the way there. We're looking for that 85 is what we're looking here next, okay? On the downside, it needs to hold this 100-day at 82.84, but right now she's looking very, very good, very, very bullish, okay? So very nice, okay? So your RSI here looking good, pushing up, can go much higher. You got a nice, good green above your red. That shows good momentum going to the upside. Green above your red here, looking very good, and plenty of room to run on your RSI here on the weekly. So again, when you look at this here on this chart, see how nice this is. So now we can just go right across all these levels here. So we're already over here, but this is that next level that you're going to be looking for here, okay? It's going to be that 85 level is what we're going to be targeting for. And then we're going to be looking up here. You're looking at that 89, say, let's call it 90 level is going to be next. And then we're going to look up here. You're looking at about the 92 level, and then your retest is 95 level. Okay, so right now I'm just sticking with the trade. And, even though it came off a little bit, that gave me a good opportunity to add. I do want to go full blown out there, with 10,000 shares. So I just took the 5 that kept on with the 5,000 shares here. So I'm going to see how this goes here. Now, I might dump 5,000 shares just for a scalp for the day. We got to see how this is all going to shake out here, okay? But right now, crude looking very, very bullish, looking like go higher. Plus, a lot of circumstances here going on here with Russia. They're looking like they're going to be cutting production. So this is Ukraine is bombing all their key levels here. So this could go really much higher very, very quickly, more than what people would think here if this starts to escalate here just a little bit out of control. Okay, that's what I got for you, natty gas and crude oil. I'll be back here after the pit close at 2:30, and we will do a little bit more in-depth on both. All right, thanks for watching.